New claims in the John Wayne Gacy case. An attorney representing the mother of one of Gacy's victims is asking Cook County officials to turn over bones from the victim.
Sherry Marino's son Michael was listed as one of the 33 victims of John Wayne Gacy. Authorities say they used dental records to identify him as one of the bodies found buried in Gacy's crawl space. But Sherry always had her doubts and years ago had the remains exhumed for DNA testing. She said the test showed the remains were not her son. Now her attorney is asking a judge to order the state to turn over the jaw bones that had been identified as belonging to Michael. The family wants to perform more DNA testing, which they hope will be more accurate, to confirm whether or not the remains do belong to Michael, who was only 14 when he went missing back in 1976. Steven Becker is the attorney working for Sherry Marino. He joins us live. Thanks for being with us.
My pleasure. Thank you.
So this evidence you have that says, it's not him, have you turned that over to the sheriff?
We have provided the DNA information to the sheriff's office. They have refused to acknowledge it, I think fearing that if there's a misidentification in the Gacy case, that it could open up a can of worms for them. So we are proceeding forward to request that the presiding judge at the criminal court order the state to turn over the jaw bones. Most people don't realize that at the time the authorities severed the jaw bones from all 33 of the Gacy victims and that they were never returned to any of the family members. So when I conducted an exhumation back in 2012, when we opened the coffin, we found out the jaws were missing. And that, of course, was a critical part of the identification at the time. So we are now requesting, based on new technology, that the judge order the state to turn those jaw bones over to us so we can continue with testing.
Stephen, I want to talk about the timing of all of this, but first we do have a statement from the Cook County Sheriff. We reached out and asked him about your claims, and they said the Sheriff's Office steadfastly pursues the truth in all of its investigations and has for years extended an open invitation to Mr. Becker to review any evidence he claims will show Michael Marino was misidentified as a victim of John Wayne Gacy. To date, Mr. Becker has chosen not to share this evidence or work with the Sheriff's Office in any way. So I ask you, there seems to be a discrepancy here, and I'm just wondering about the timing of all of this. Why now?
Sure. So the reason we are pursuing this now is that Mrs. Marino has been searching for Michael for more than 45 years. She is getting up in age, and she wants to try to get answers about what happened to him. Also, there is some dramatic advances in DNA technology, and I have consulted with experts throughout the world, and they say that the teeth have the greatest possibility for DNA. And so that's why it's essential that we are able to get access to the jaws so we can test the teeth to demonstrate, in fact, that this was not Michael Marino.
But it's kind of an interesting legal argument, because if you're arguing that the jawbone is not Michael Marino's, then how do you have legal standing to get the jawbone?
Well, the reason is, even though we do not believe this was Michael, based on the DNA testing that we did from our lab, the sheriff maintains that this is in fact Michael Marino. And if it is Michael Marino, then Mrs. Marino, as his mother, has legal standing and has the right to have the jaws. And it was actually illegal for the authorities not to turn over the jaw bones to all of the victims back at the time of the Gacy case. So we are now pursuing that, asking the judge to order the state to return those jaw bones because it was illegal for them not to give them back to the families at the time.
So, Mr. Becker, you mentioned a short time ago that you think the DNA on the jawbone is more accurate potentially than the DNA that you had pursued on the body when the body was exhumed. So is there a possibility that the first test that you got, given that the tests are even better now and the jawbone is a better source of DNA, could be incorrect?
I mean, we will have to see. I have no idea, but the DNA test that we had demonstrated at 5 loci, those are spots along the chromosome, that this was not Mrs. Marino's son. So it's our belief that if we are able to test the teeth, that will in fact demonstrate to a greater scientific certainty that this was not Michael Marino.
Attorney Steven Becker, thank you. We appreciate you joining us this afternoon.
Thank you for your time.
Up next for us here, dozens of people are rescued in